It's the poppy boy from the poppy store. Yeah, it's profit. I manage.
Oh, nigga.
I'm not your regular poppy boy from the poppy store.
Oh, nigga.
I'm not your regular poppy boy from the poppy store. Like, seriously, what y'all give me Aki for? He's been wanting to battle me. Just rushing for this ass whipping like Rocky for. I will get you seen, bitch, I win it. Too many losses I come for win. Too many losses I come for win. This is crazy. And we in a poppy store. Y'all understand this. It's straight poppy shit right here.
Absolutely.
I mean, straight poppy shit going on right now.
Yeah.
Hold on. Let me do it.
Go ahead, do your thing.
We have Philly's own. He's not the same Poppy Ball from the Poppy store. Sorry, Prophet. But that's another. He took it over. We have the champ, 3-time defending Jim
That's when everybody go crazy. My man, Link, he kind of introduced you as a 3-time champion, whatnot.
Defending.
Defending.
But 3-time defending.
3-time defending.
4 title matches.
Right.
Yeah, well, the first one was basically who had the better performance that night. That's how I got the belt. Who had the better performance that night?
What was the name of that event?
Battles.
What was it?
That was a point to prove. Point to
right.
prove. There was like 2 other battles that happened that day. I think it was, and you know, eventually I had the better performance that night, and they gave me the belt. And then my first defense, actually, my first title defense was against you.
We ain't gonna talk about it. All right, we ain't got. I was trying to avoid it. I actually brought it up.
Nah, it's one of my favorite battles of all time. Like of my whole career, it's one of my favorite battles.
There's another Battle Academy belt, isn't there?
There is another Battle Academy belt that's floating around there. Yeah.
So how we feeling about that? Like, are we going for that one? Or?
Right now, you know, it's in the hands of Gas Gang. You know what I mean? Gas Gang is my team, so
shout out to Gas Gang.
It ain't about I'm trying to go take that John. No, that's my man. Right. So you know what I'm saying.
So right now y'all winning as a
we
unit.
winning as a unit. So
nice.
you know what I mean. So it's like, you know, it is what it is. You feel me? So I'm just a regular poppy boy. You know what I'm saying? From North Philly, 2nd of Somerset. You feel me? I'm just doing what I, you know, representing my city, representing my area. You know, I always wanted to be known in the hood, and I got what I aimed for. You know what I mean? I didn't aim to be famous or anything, or have a name to like the way I do now, but I just wanted to represent for 2nd of Somerset. And then out of nowhere, you know, with my team, BMG, you know, shout out to my brother CK Uno, my brother DLO, may you rest in peace, you know, my man Oompa, Shane, freaking everybody from Poughkeepsie, New York, because that's where I lived at before, you know what I mean? That's where my real rap started.
Yeah. So when was you remember your first battle?
My first battle was an online battle.
Okay.
I did a lot of online battles before I did any real life face-to-face battle. My real life face-to-face battle happened in Philadelphia in a league called Real Bars, and I battled some boy named Dinos. Shout out to Ant Brown. Ant Brown put me on, you know what I mean? Okay. I watched Ant Brown. I made music with Ant Brown, and when I watched his battle, I was like, hey, yo, you battling now? And he was like, come on, man, just do one battle, you know what I mean? If you win, you get $100.
Oh, nice.
So I won. I
got $100.
I walked around with $100, you know what I mean? My second battle, I lost badly, choked all 3 rounds. Shout out to Avenue C. Avenue C was my second battle ever. I lost that battle. Still want my link back, man. Pause if you have to pause that, but you know what I mean. I've come a long way from those 2 battles that really started my face-to-face battles. You know what I mean?
Nice.
So
you elevated since then. You feel like you can go back and watch that footage and be like, I'm not the same Jim B. Dot I was.
Yeah, I mean, what's crazy was that those were my first face-to-face battles. My first league battle was against Jots on Sigu. Shout out to Sigu. I always represent Sigu, you know what I mean? Step Your Ink game up out of Jersey. It was against Jots, and that's what really started me really off. And I started doing battling over there, live battling over there, and traveling. And I took my skills out to North Carolina. Shout out Carolina Premier Battle League, and it was like my first outside battle that showed me love. They showed me love, you know. Like, come out, battle with us, battle on our league. You know what I mean?
So let me ask you this. So during that time of you kind of getting your feet wet and whatnot, who was some of your inspiration? Like, who was you watching at the time?
Oh man, my first battle I ever watched was Disaster versus DNA.
That's a crazy battle.
Disaster versus DNA was my first battle I ever watched, and that's when I was like, God, Disaster crazy. This is how I want to rap. You know what I mean?
So,
Disaster crazy. But my favorite battle rapper of all time is Daylight. You know, I have to say that Daylight is my favorite battle rapper of all time. You know what I mean? His antics is crazy, but when he does spit for real, he's ridiculous. He's creative. He schemes. His punchlines is bananas. You know what I mean? You get the deuce open. Rock paper scissors, one of the greatest bars. That was one of the most creative bars I've ever heard. Besides Tay Rock's cut and another cut with like the seatbelt will buckle up. You know what I mean? Everybody has it. You go back and you look at these big names in the industry of battle rapping. They always had creative moments where you learn from those. You research and you find your own niche. You know what I mean? Your own niche. You know what I mean? And that's. People be like, yo, your style crazy. I don't know what my style is. You know what I mean? I just write. And just go in. And, people say that I'm like a comedian and then I do punchlines and then I'm entertaining and all this other stuff.
Let me ask you this, though, right? Because you mentioned your first battle was the Disaster and DNA, right?
Yeah.
You hadn't heard of the Too Raw for the Streets at the time? Like, were you in tune with a lot of the headshot DVDs?
The crazy,
Smack DVDs.
Being a part of Battle Academy now, I sat in one of their at the tables and they brought up the history of Battle Academy and how it started and stuff like that, and how Big Philly was around before them, and those DVDs. I used to watch Smack DVDs back in the day when it was like cable. When it was like cable.
So
it was
that's
crazy
before
battles
the DNA and Disaster.
Yeah, that was
battle,
before
right?
that.
So,
but I never paid attention to it. Like I never directly stood there and watched all these battles and followed it like that and stuff like that. Like I said, it wasn't the Fight Club days. Those days, I didn't really the Lions Den days. I watched the Jay Mills and Murder Mook John, but I watched it, but never really paid attention to it. You know what I mean? At that day, I was just making music. I wasn't worrying about battle rap, but and sooner as time passed, I learned about the past of Philly battle rap scene. The Philly battle rap scene, the major leagues, the Reed Dollars, the Ciceros, the freaking K Walkers, the Kabooms, you know what I mean? Frank with the Grippers, Vodka. Yeah, Vodka was, you know what I'm saying? The Vodkas. And it's just like, it's crazy where I'm at now that I know these guys personally. They're like good friends of mine. And it's crazy because after learning their history, I went back and watched it.
That's good. You did your due diligence.
I went back and watched it and learned from these guys on how to entertain the Philly crowd. Because Philly's crazy. Crowd is crazy.
But it's also important, I think, for every MC that steps in the battle arena to do their due diligence, do the history of the innovators, and really get an understanding of where it came from. Because knowing where you came from can help you know exactly where you need to go sometimes.
I definitely.
And I'm glad you did that though, because.
Yeah, I forgot Steel. The Steel. Shout out to Steel. There's a bunch of names back then, that really paved the way for Philly battle rap.
Yeah.
And I'm just talking about Philly battle rap because that's where I'm based at right now.
That's
but
where we at right now.
You got to remember, I came up in Jersey battle rap. That's where my name came up at. My name, I built the name.
Came in.
Sigu. I built the name in Sigu before I built the name anywhere else. So it was shout out to Sigu.
Absolutely.
Without Sigu, I wouldn't be here.
Because they helped you in your development.
Yeah, they gave me the battles. They gave me the battles, the practice I needed, the exhibitions I needed, the big names I needed.
It's funny because when we were going through our shit, right, the league owner over there was trying to book a battle between me and you.
Yeah, that was after the Smokey battle.
After the Smokey situation, he was on my time. Shout out to him because he was on my ass about it.
He wanted that battle. He always wanted that battle. That was one of the battles he always wanted. He was like, "Yo, I want you versus Prophet. I want it on Siggy. I want it on Siggy."
It turned out to be a good battle, though.
It turned out to be not a good battle. It was a great classic battle.
Yeah,
you know, I got my lick back. You know what I'm saying? For those who don't know the history, I battled Smokey.
Talk about it.
Battle, what was it? Trap? No, Powerhouse.
Big
I battled,
Hand,
I battled Big Hand and Butter. Shout out to the Big Hands and Butters of Philadelphia. You know, it's crazy. I can't forget them. I definitely can't forget Big Hand and Butter.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? I battled Smokey, and I said something about.
Well, don't go straight to the battle, though. Hold up. Don't go straight to the battle. Because we was on social media.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It started off on social media where I accused Prophet of writing bars for Smokey.
Which is completely false.
But it was crazy because I watched Smokey first battle, and to me, Smokey was okay. But then when I watched the second battle, I was like, hold on.
Shout out to Smokey, man. He always been fire.
Yeah, you know, I was like, hold on. No, Smokey, shout out to that Smokey's, that's my man's, you know what I mean? We have history back when I was making music, you know what I mean?
Absolutely, yeah,
so,
he told me about that. Yeah,
There's
a lot more history than that.
Yeah.
They actually, not battled, but they were in a cypher together back in the day.
Yeah, and I didn't know.
And I heard he got, shout out to Smokey, he got off on my man, you know what I'm saying? Two would know already. I'm just fucking around. At least that's what I heard through the grapevine, right?
It was definitely, and then I battled Smokey, and you jumped in the third.
Yeah, because of all that history.
Cooked me in like 4 to 8 bars. Straight cooked me. I'll never forget it. The Golovkin. Triple G Golovkin.
Yeah. Go check that out on Powerhouse. Smokey Rodriguez versus Jimmy Dot featuring Prophet.
Yeah, it says featuring Prophet too. That's the crazy part about it.
It's a track.
It was like a track featuring Prophet.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But that was after you hit your URL stage, and I understand it. It helped build the views and stuff like that.
And we should have built it up even more. We could have
I mean, it is what it is. It was a classic, and then then that goes into when I battled Smokey on Battle Academy for the second time.
Yeah, and they made you guys battle again. So all right, let me ask you that, right? Because you already had battled Smokey, right, on Powerhouse Battle League, and then Battle Academy had you guys battle again in the stimulus package.
Yep, stimulus package. During the COVID.
No crowd, just the cameraman, you and your opponent, and Stiz.
Yep.
How did that feel though? Like battling somebody you've already did you had to get rid of some lines? How was that process?
The process was just writing, you know what I mean? Writing again for him. I battled Preach 3 times from Jersey. I battled him 3 times. We had a trio. The second time was this ain't the first belt I had. I had a torture chamber belt in Siggy, you know what I'm saying? So he beat me for the belt the second time we battled. And then I battled him for the belt in the third, and he beat me again. So you know what I mean. Shout out to him. Shout out to Preach. But back to your question. Stiz hit me up and was like, "Yo, I want you to battle Smokey." I always wanted to be on Battle Academy. You know what I mean?
The opportunity of a lifetime exists.
He was my first battle on Battle Academy, and I was like, I'm not turning down this opportunity to get on Battle Academy. I'm not. So I didn't care who I had to battle that first time. You know what I mean? He said Smokey. I said okay. I battled him already, but fuck it, I need my lick back. You know what I'm saying? So because of the third round, I always felt that the third round upended it gave him a W in people's eyes. I feel like it gave him a W in people's eyes, even though a lot of my people and a lot of other people said I won that battle, but I always felt like, because of his jumping and everything like that, it upended his towards Smokey.
The Powerhouse battle.
Right. So it more upended towards him, and then I felt like I beat Smokey at Battle Academy. So you know what I mean? I definitely, he choked in the third. If I'm correct, he choked in the third.
We're not gonna highlight that. My brother. He did good.
No, he did great. Listen, Smokey is one of the most unorthodox creative people I know. One of his battles I always remembered, one of his bars was the astronaut bar. That astronaut bar was probably one of the best bars I've ever heard him say.
I think it was a powerhouse battle.
It definitely was. It was the astronaut bar. That bar would forever to this day be one of the most creative bars I've ever heard.
He's gonna kill me if I don't remember this.
That shit was crazy. It was crazy. But it was crazy.
Good battle.
And then we battled years later.
Yeah.
We battled. I said 5. I said 5. I was rounding up, but it was like 3, somewhere around there.
Yeah,
it took 3 years to finally battle Prophet. It was one of the battles that everybody wanted to see. Everybody wanted to see me battle.
A lot of people wanted to see it. I mean, I had guys telling me they wanted to see it. I think I was just on a mission, like, you know.
You was on URL,
television,
man. You was on URL. I was nobody. You know, I was just a little name that in the city. You know what I mean? Just a little name. Not even in the city of Philly. You know.
But I also was like, I think I was on some stubborn shit to where I was just like, man, they trying to put the poppies against each other. Give me an Asian dude or something, man. Damn, give me Iranian dudes.
Listen, man. Listen.
You know what I mean?
You can't knock the fact that that's what happens.
Yeah,
They want that poppy on poppy crime. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
they always want that poppy on poppy crime. So that's how it goes.
You also gotta understand too. I was also young in my career as well, so where I'm just like,
right, he was on URL at that time. Like, who the fuck was I? You know what I mean?
Right.
You hit URL twice at that. You was on URL twice.
Yeah, well, 3 times actually.
Well, no. By the time that time was happening, you was already on URL twice. You know what I'm saying? So it was like, who the hell is me? You know what I mean? But that's why I appreciated when you did jump in that battle, because I was like, oh, that's why in the middle of the battle when you jump in, you see me go like this. Like I was proud he jumped in. I was like, yeah. But then at the end of it, I was kind of upset because he fucked me up.
Well, I almost felt like, I was like, damn, did we fall into his trap? Because he had mentioned it on social media that I was writing for him. I felt like he knew it was going to piss me off and that we was going, you know, I didn't know if that was
what happened was this. My third round, I say something about it. I said something about it in my third round, but I think Smokey ended up going last. He ended up going last, so when he ended up going last and you jumped in, I couldn't rebuttal. I couldn't respond because that was it. It was over after that. You know what I mean? And that's exactly how it ended. You know
I remember your man was pissed.
Yeah, he mad. He walked right off camera. Yeah, you can see him walk right off camera. But that's because at the time he didn't know the fact that people jump in battles.
Yeah.
He didn't know that.
But that's kind of essentially why we did it too, because it was trend-setting type moment. I think everybody was jumping in everybody. At certain points, so it was like.
Yeah, no.
He already,
And I told my man, like, that happens, dog. That happens.
But years later, again, we met in Battle Academy. You got the vote. You got the belt. You brought it with you today, which I didn't think you was going to do. You know what I'm saying? You might have to, a link.
You know what I mean? And what's crazy is about the belt, man. A lot of people telling me, oh, you're not representing it right. You're not representing it right.
Go into that.
First and foremost about representing it right. Take it away from me. That's all. You want to represent it right, take it away from me. And there's been 3 people who thought that, and well, I'm not gonna exclude you. I'm not gonna include you in that because I felt like you was like, fuck it, I'm just battle. It was a battle, to me, I felt like to you it wasn't about the belt. It was just about that.
Yeah, for me, honestly, it was about the history that we just mentioned.
Yeah.
All of that. It was more so about you and me, really.
Yeah.
Yeah,
but
like, why the fuck
when
not?
it came down to Merc and KO, you know what I mean? To me. But then again, they be like, who have you battled? And when I bring your name up, it's like people just exclude you out as if you ain't fucking nice. Like, and it pisses me off. Like, bruh,
it's okay.
Do you fucking know that Prophet's probably better than most of these niggas out here, and y'all, most of y'all niggas, and y'all just be.
Look, I appreciate that, man. Like, I'm the type though. I told you earlier. I look at the glasses half full.
Yeah.
In the beginning of my career, I was stubborn in certain areas of my situation. I don't think I quite grasped where I was at. You know what I'm saying? I don't think I even grasped that concept at that time. Taking one battle at a time and not understanding how people like plan their whole year and they actually have a whole plan behind this shit and all things like that. So I think guys who do that, like, it is what it is. I can't get upset at people's opinion. Everybody has an opinion. Everybody has
an asshole. Opinions are like assholes. Everybody's
got one.
Yeah, I mean, so
we just gonna keep moving forward and keep being great and keep doing what we do best. And
just show up. That's it.
Contribute to the culture.
Yeah, contribute to the culture, and prove that you belong there. Like, and I feel like I'm very underlooked. I feel like I'm very underlooked, but yet people still give me my flowers.
Yeah.
And
you focus on the flowers.
People still give me my flowers. You know what I mean? And it's crazy because I walk back into my hood where I moved out my hood, and I walk back into my hood and people be like, "Yo, I watched your battle. You crazy." There was a time where I didn't tell nobody I battled.
Yeah.
I would go into I would hang out at the bar right there, and Mark Loves too. I would always hang in there. That's my spot. You know what I mean? I would always walk into there, and I would never tell anybody I battled until one day one boy came up to me and was like, "Yo, why you ain't never told me you was a battle rapper?" And from there on, it's like the word got around and stuff like that, and now everybody knows that I'm a battle rapper, and it feels good to know, I walk in a halftime, good time. I'm naming these bars because these bars have always been show love. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Third Elements, and even Sidekicks. You know what I mean? And I think we hung out at Sidekicks.
Yeah, we did. I know all the bars you're talking about.
So you know what I mean? That's my area. That was always my hood, and it forever will be. And they always show love whenever I'm in the spot, you know what I mean? And I was just in halftime, good time yesterday, and ran into somebody, and he loved talking about my battles, always talk about my battles. He was like, "Yo, I just watched your battle get ball status on Gate to the Garden," because that was like my most recent drop. And it's all love.
You know what? I think we got to do more of that. So you said that you wasn't in the habit of telling people, right? I think we got to do more advertising ourselves, what we do, like a businessman who sells cars, he has no problem telling everybody, yo, check it out, check my business card, come to the lot, I got all these cars, this, that, and the third, because this is what we do, right? And we love what we do, and we want to be loved for what we do. So, and it's not in a sense where you like braggadocious and you're like, "Yo, I'm battle rapping, check my shit out," but it's more so like, "Yo, this is my business, and this is what I do." You know what I'm saying? You got anything, Link?
So what you're saying is correct. People do feel like people do need to promote themselves more, but
Absolutely.
But rappers are artists, and people who create art, they don't realize this. Back in the day, it wasn't their job to sell the art.
Yeah.
Their job was to create it, and commerce find out how to sell it.
That's true.
So artists needs to have a team. So the artist can focus on art and his team can focus on selling.
Jameson shots, washing up my sins. Praying that the God over here can forgive for the thing that I done, for the kid that I whip. Had to grind at the clown, stop preaching for shit. If I wanted, gotta have to eat for the shit. Bitch, I'm winning. Fuck you thought, ho, bitch, I'm winning. Fuck you thought, bro. Niggas thought I lost it cause I left for a minute. Nah, I was in the lab, focusing on winning. Got lost up in the women, I was lost up in my feelings till I went and found myself. When I started, now I finished. Said I wouldn't make it, I'm too old for the game. So I went and made a name, now it's old for you lanes. First came the grind, then came the fame. But all through the journey, it was nothing but a hate. Overcame obstacle, anything possible. Sat back and listened, stood up in my lane. Watch what